Good Sunday morning. This is section 10 from my presentation on Post-Mortem America and the Empire of the Herd. Section 10 is entitled The American Pork Industry. And the epigraph that I have composed for it goes like this. Intelligence is ignoble in a man who lacks physical courage. Everybody in this society is a pig at a trough in one way or another. Everything Americans do is in one way or another self-serving. Everybody is looking for a racket. Everybody is looking for easy money, which essentially equates to unearned money. Excuse me. Everywhere we look, we will see lying, cheating, stealing, posing, misrepresenting for the expressed but not expressed, because otherwise people you're trying to trick and rip off would be onto you. Purpose of total service to self and personal and/or financial gain. You can watch journalists and politicians lying through their teeth right in your face because it will get them what they want, which is rarely what they are supposed to want as part of their job function. The American people are the most disgusting populace of lipid pigs the world has ever seen. Just take a look at the obesity epidemic in this country to permanently end that discussion. Valuelessness rules in post-mortem America. Post-mortem Americans choose psychological safety over truth, knowledge, wisdom, aesthetic, or moral values. Sometimes they actually choose psychological safety over physical safety, but usually that happens more out of stupidity than out of fear of pain. Society-wide hedonism is connected with society-wide or worldwide nihilism. Americans care most about pursuing pleasure and avoiding pain. They do this beyond what is physically or mentally healthy. Pain includes moral, spiritual, psychological, emotional pain, as well as physical pain. Hedonism and decadence are mathematically congruent. Decadence is a decrease in life force. Americans are in the grips of decadence and have been since the end of World War II. Pain is good for you. People who avoid or flee from pain are taking a bribe. Quote, when a man becomes weak enough to accept a bribe, he is already a dying man, unquote. That's a quote from the noir film Gilda from the 40s. Post-mortem American society is a dying man already. Referencing that quote. Pain is truth you're not strong enough to deal with yet. Pain and suffering are the raw materials from which all creative achievement issues. The purpose of human life is to acquire power over pain. The people that hurt us do more to help us than the people who help or love us. Postmortem liberalism has employed nihilism, hedonism, and decadence to weaken the population. Liberal loons today. These people cannot get the message. Your fear is your concern. Your pain is your concern. Your problems are your concern. It's not that nobody cares. Nobody does. But that's not the point. The point is you must overcome these problems on your own, personally. To that purpose, removing anything that causes you linguistic or emotional pain is the worst move you could come up with. In fact, you need to look at those Confederate statues intently and incessantly, study them and ponder them, and help yourself get to the root of your pain and what it is that in these inanimate objects trigger. That paragraph is mislaid. It's supposed to be from another section. The definition of a liberal. A liberal is a person who is a moral, spiritual, emotional, and psychological weakling, and who strives to make the entire human race as weak or weaker than himself, to justify his weakness and so as not to feel alone. Liberal is just a polite word for mediocre, and a conservative is just a liberal with more money. Progressive just means anti-democracy. It means progressing past democracy. Almost everywhere in Europe today we find a pathological, this is a quote, almost everywhere in Europe today we find a pathological sensitivity and receptivity to pain. Also, an increase in tenderness that would use religion and philosophical bric-a-brac to deck itself out as something higher. There is a veritable cult of suffering. The unmanliness of what is baptized as pity in the circle of such enthusiasts is, I should think, what always meets the eye first. That's from Beyond Good and Evil, section 293. You just think you're the 99%. Look, little post-mortem American, you have a higher standard of living than any member of any aristocracy of any empire in any part of the planet in any period of its history. Your ease of life has turned you into a disgusting, hedonistic, lipid pig. You aren't forced at gunpoint to work. You aren't forced at gunpoint to work as a sex slave in Thailand. You aren't forced to work in a sweatshop in Malaysia for 18 hours a day and sleep in a cot in the back room for the remaining 6 hours of the day. You don't have to worry about having one of your arms hacked off with a machete so that some rich, spoiled American female pig can wear a diamond ring to her $150,000 wedding ceremony. You're much more likely to be the fat pig American female wearing the diamond ring. Strength is more important than intelligence. Anti-Talosian Manifesto. This is part of my Anti-Talosian Manifesto. Intelligence is an aberration in the universe and a decadence movement. Take a hungry Albert Einstein and a hungry grizzly bear. Fucking son of a bitch. Take a hungry Albert Einstein and a hungry grizzly bear and put them together in a very large cage. Then throw a large charbroiled steak in between them. Who do you think would get the steak? We can even make the situation more lopsided in Einstein's favor if you want. We could give our Albert a loaded shotgun. I still say the bear gets the steak. In fact, not only does the bear get to eat the steak, but he gets to eat the Einstein as well for dessert later at his leisure. Fact. There are some pictures from the first Star Trek episode in the 1960s of the Talosians, what the Talosians were supposed to have looked like.